Hello, my name is Christina Andrews, and I'm the chairperson of the HiaCed committee. And I'm here today to talk about our meeting that took place on the Y on our land base on February 16th, 2013. And today is February 19th, 2013. And I wanted just to talk about the reason I'm here today is to kind of give a little update of what took place there, but really to emphasize the need for us to gather more voters and members of the district. So just to give a couple of announcements that were made there, one of them was a cleanup that we hope to have in April, which is a Quito Paquito, or the Arivaipia cemetery cleanup. And we're looking more into a good time and when, and hopefully we'll have more information for you when we receive more information. But hopefully that's going to take place in April. Another announcement was about the Western Pima County Community Council, and they're looking for a chair, or a seat, I should say, on their council for a HiaCed member who lives somewhere either in Y or in Ajo. So if you're interested, please contact the office at 520-383-3439. Sorry, let me repeat that, 520-383-3439. So I'd like to also talk about, I guess there was a third announcement, and the third announcement was the naming of one of the Twin Peaks, and I think they wanted to name that peak Levy Peak, named after a family that was well known around the area of Ajo, and they're wanting to name that peak after this family, and we were wanting to have some more input as to what are your feelings regarding naming that peak. So that was our three announcements. Afterwards, we ended up talking about the election, and we talked about how the election is going to include an electronic tabulator, and how we need to have 5 positions for our council and their alternates, how we also need to have 5 positions for an election board committee, and I don't believe there's alternates. I think there's only 5 positions. We also are looking for 2 legislative representatives and a chair and vice chair. So those are the positions that we're looking for the new HiaCed district. And we have until February 26th to receive our voter registrations or our voter transfer forms for the primary election. So if you're interested in voting in the primary, if there is a primary, the last day to turn in your transfer forms or your voter registration forms is February 26th. And it would be good if you guys could either mail those forms in or hand deliver them. If you do use a PDF and put them electronically, then make sure you mail the original. If you guys have any questions on that, dial 520-383-3439, and the office can help you answer any of your questions. When I went out to talk to the community, what I found with those 2 forms is people didn't know what to put on the lines. So a lot of people are from San Lucie. So if you're from San Lucie, you'll put the district of San Lucie and the community of San Lucie. And you're transferring into the HiaCed district and the HiaCed community. So just to let you know, that's how you'd fill out the voter transfer form and the voter registration form. Another form that's really important to note here is the membership list form. And that membership list form is what either transfers somebody out of their district into the new district, the new HiaCed district. This is a different form, and you're going to know it's different because it has highlighted sections in yellow. It's a very colorful form. This is the one form that transfers your membership into the district. And it's important to note this because a lot of people are getting confused that if they transfer their vote, then they automatically become a member of that district, and that's not the case. You have to fill out a membership transfer form. Again, it's a colorful form, it's highlighted in yellow, and that's a form you're going to fill out to become an actual member of the district. This opportunity to become a member of the new HiaCed district is only open for 3 years. So the last day to transfer into this new HiaCed district is going to be October 2015. And you can contact the enrollment office to receive the form. They'll mail you out a form. You can also receive a form if you are a part of a distribution list, or if you contact the office at 520-383-3439, or you can and ask to be on our distribution list, because we have a distribution list where we put out this information electronically, and you can answer questions electronically as well. So I just want to make sure there's 3 forms. One is the voter registration, which means you're a new voter. Voter transfer means you're already a voter and you want to transfer your vote into the new district. Or if you want to become a member of the district, then you want to fill out the membership transfer form, okay? Another thing that you might have read in last week's or last Friday's runner is the fact of the need to have more members or more voters as well. Last Saturday, on the 16th of February, we only had about 5 actual members of the HiaCed district. But at that same day, we discussed as a community the fact that, there's a lot of people who may have fear of the unknown because of the fact that we don't know about the funding opportunity that will happen to the district, if we're going to get equal distribution, whether it's going to be by population, whether it's going to be 50-50. We don't know how much money is going to go to the district. A lot of people are afraid to leave their current district because they receive stipends for their children, for holidays, and they don't want to leave that for a place where they don't really know what is there. And I'm not going to deny that I also had that same fear, because I have 11 kids and I had the same fear as well. What happens with this new district? But I decided that for me personally, it wasn't about the money. It was about what was right and what my grandmother had sacrificed for, and other HiaCed that are no longer with us, to see the time that we would finally have a place to call our own. Well, here it is. It's right in front of us. And we're lucky because we're starting from ground zero, and we can actually make this a place that we'd be proud to call home. So at that moment, I decided I was going to go ahead and transfer my own membership from San Lucie into the HiaCed district. So I signed that form that day, and we had about 12 other people who followed suit, realizing that it was about our struggle that we had and the opportunities that we have that are in the future with this new this new district, the HiaCed district, and that our families really sacrificed for that. So what we found out as well is that there's more people that are turning in their membership forms as well. So that once 5 has probably tripled now. So very, very proud to say that. So I know that some people may have an allegiance, and people have lived for many, many years, because this has been a struggle that's been going on for 30 years, 40 years, once we were adopted in 1984 by the Thon, that, people have an allegiance to their districts. They may live in their district, and that's understandable, but we can't forget the fight that people made, that people sacrificed currently as a current committee and as past committees, and people who weren't even on a committee but just knew the struggle of being homeless. We can't forget that, and we need to look forward to the opportunity that we have, that your voice matters here, and that you can actually have a say in what this district becomes. I mean, what a great opportunity. So I really would challenge you guys, if you haven't already taken the time to transfer your membership into the HiaCed district, to do so. Yeah, we had the opportunity to have 2 meetings. One of them was in December 15th, and that was in Yuma, Arizona. And it was a really great opportunity to go meet other HiaCed in the Dome Valley area that we're trying to reconnect, that unfortunately were not brought on to the nation's census. And so they are fighting really to become a part of, to find their connection, to find their home, to be a part of the HiaCed again. They know that they are, but now many of them are actually trying to fight to prove that they are. So it was a really great experience to see that, to see. I don't want to say it was good to see, but it was enlightening to see other natives who were lost in this colonization of our land taken away. It's sad to see that they lost that connection, but it made it more heartfelt to see that there's other people who are trying to reconnect. And with this new district, hopefully we will be able to provide that connection again, which was lost. So that was our meeting in Yuma, and there was probably about 30 people who attended. So you see there's definitely a lot of HiaCed that are out there that know their connection, but now are striving to reconnect and prove their lineage. The other meeting we had was in San Lucie district. So that was a heartfelt meeting actually as well, because it was a time to thank San Lucie for adopting us. And when it's kind of like I'm just kind of giving you as best of an example as I could. It kind of felt like a child that was raised, and now they are leaving their parent. They need to leave their parent eventually, because it's that concept of independence and being able to make your own decisions. But it's that bittersweet when you say goodbye to a child, or as a child says goodbye to their parent. Regardless, San Lucie did take us in. I know wasn't a perfect relationship for many people, but still, they were there for many of us and did help us along the way, and me included. So personally, I thank San Lucie for a lot of their kindness that they have given to me and my family. So it was kind of that separation of a meeting. I mean, you had the meeting, but there was kind of this feeling of a separation that now is taking place. Yeah, kind of like thank you. Well, I do know there's two that have come forward. I don't know if I can officially say their names. Well, of course, there's me, Christina Andrews, and I'm running for chair of the HiaCed district, and my running mate is Fernando Martinez, and he is running with me. So right now, as it stands, at least for now, we're running unopposed. So we do hope to become the chair, and something that we really are going to be focusing on is going to be building infrastructure. It's only going to be for 2 years for the chair and vice chair, but what we're really looking forward to is building infrastructure, both with a governing body, which includes like building policies and procedures, getting the council in place, as well as building infrastructure in the actual land base itself. Right now we're working with Indian Health Services in terms of water sources and sanitation sources. So we're going to continue our work with that. We're also going to continue our work with working with developers here in Tucson, as well as with the nation's planning department and all other municipalities that are out there, whether it's Ajo or whether it's Y, whoever is out there, to try to start making our land use become real. To start, because you have a land use plan, and then you you have a land use plan, and then you make it real by adding the dimensions, by adding, the engineer component of it. So you have a picture, but now you're making the picture become alive. And that's what we want to continue working with. It kind of had to stop. It had a standstill since Gary, who was the former, I think he was the manager of the HiaCed program. Once he left, then that relationship kind of is at a standstill, but we'd like to begin opening that up, as well as the fact that we understand that the nation is developing their own land use plan right now. So we're hoping to also work with the planning department in order to get be a part of that land use plan. So it's building those relationships to begin building a community. And we definitely want to start with economic development, because that's something that's really important to us in order to sustain. So we have a money or a money stream coming in to help us build our community. We probably will be looking into a foundation as well, so that we'd be able to receive monies and disperse the monies as we would feel appropriate based on our community. So those are things that we hope to start looking into the first 2 years. And these are for the legislative representatives. There have been 2 people that have come in of interest to the legislative representatives, and one of them is Michael Flores, and I'm sure he's not afraid to say that. And then there's somebody else, but I'd rather not say at this time. And then we have, for council, we don't have anyone, and that's concerning. Well, actually, let me go back to legislative representatives, because we do have 2 people who are interested, but we do need alternates. So anybody interested in legislative representative, I mean, there's 2 positions for the alternate positions available, and I don't know, maybe these 2 may change their mind. I have no idea, you know. We are going to be opening up nominations, formal nominations, which will be coming on March 16th at the land base, as well as, I believe it's the 20th of April, which is the 3rd Saturday of April. We're also accepting those nominations. So anybody who is interested in council or in legislative representatives, or even in the, well, no, because that's a different thing. If you're interested in legislative representatives or in council, please stop by the HiaCed district meeting that will be held, one in March 16th and April 20th. So you can talk about your being a nominee for that, and you would be able to see the people who you would be representing there at that land base. Nice is the fact that at that land base, we had a lot of people that had attended that one. Legislative council nominees do not have to fill out, get signatures. They only need to come to the meeting, and they need to just say they're interested in this position. And then we would fill out the form or the application, and we'd be sending it to elections. And that's the same with that's going to be the same for council. So the signatures and having it more official, taking your picture and all that is really just for if you're interested in being a chair or vice chair of this new district. Other than that, we really, again, urge if you want to be a council or you want to be a legislative representative, that you come to our meeting on March 16th or on April 20th to announce your nomination.